If you've seen our previous video, you may remember the slave who reached out to freedom, Robert Smalls. This man was born as a slave, stole a ship, impersonated the captain, delivered the ship to the Union, bought a house, and went into politics to be elected. Stick around. The year is 1839. A boy by the name of Robert Smalls is born in South Carolina, then occupied by the rebels. His mother was also a slave, both enslaved by Henry McKee, who was most likely Robert's father. I guess love and hate aren't far from each other. At age 12, Robert worked as a laborer for $1 a week. The rest went to his owner Henry. A few years later, his love for the sea got him a job on the ships. He started as a longshoreman and made it to wheelman. By being the wheelman, he knew how to sail, as well as knowing the area. During this time, at age 17, he married Hannah Jones, who already had 2 kids. They later got 2 children together. His biggest goal was to buy out his slavery status for $800. He managed to collect $100, but $800 would take decades. So no other option but to plan an escape. He knows how to guide a ship. He knows the area. He knows his captain's routine. And he had the support of the slaves on the ship. On May 12, 1862, the ship set sail to collect 4 large guns. Then they sailed further to collect another 200 of ammunition and cords of wood. At that night, the white crewmen slept ashore, nothing out of the ordinary. They often slept on land while slaves stayed on the ship. The slaves' hearts started beating faster, as they knew this would be the night of their escape. At 3 a.m., the ship started setting sail, while the white crewmen slept on land. Smalls put on a captain's uniform and a straw hat which kinda looked like a captain's hat. In the dark, they went further to another wharf to pick up his and other crewmen's family members. Further off in the distance, a fort. They had to go past it. And that's not all. They had to do that for 5 forts. Could you fool them all? Even just a superstition would mean doom. Forts would check for certain signals. Luckily, Robert Smalls remembered them all too well from his captain. The last fort was passed at 4:30 a.m. when the alarm was raised. By then, the ship was already out of gun range. The ship set sail to the border ships on the Union and replaced the rebel flags with the white flag of surrender. Robert's wife sewed the piece of cloth white and brought it with her to use as a flag. Although the flag was hard to see in dark, the Union, thinking an enemy ship is approaching, stood ready to fight. But, like it would be in a Hollywood movie, a lookout spotted a white flag as the first sunshine of the morning showed the white flag. The ships got nearer each other, and no shots were fired, as the slaves realized they escaped. They started to dance, whistle, jump, but they also taught all the maledictions from which they escaped from. A ship's slave said to the people of the Union ships, "Good morning, sir. I have brought you some of the old US guns, sir." As turned out, the ship did also contain the captain's log, filled with valuable military information. This contributed greatly in convincing President Abraham Lincoln to allow skin-colored soldiers in the army. After saving the slaves, Robert was awarded for his bravery with a large amount of money. According to some, not enough. After the Civil War, he returned to South Carolina and bought the formal house of his former owner. He later joined politics, became a well-respected leader, and was elected to have a seat in the House of the Representatives. His journey from slave to hero to a high position in politics has been an example of great courage and inspired many after him.